Yeah, recently doing some fire work in the Gulf, we sat down with some First Nation elders who had a lot of knowledge of times past, and through an interpreted language process, we asked some questions around fire, and the response amused me because the gentleman responded that the ancient knowledge that they had didn't encompass cattle, a lot of the grasses that have been brought to improve the pastoral industry, and a lot of the woody weeds that have invaded or escaped out of people's gardens. So the gentleman didn't feel that a lot of their old knowledge was going to be all that relevant in the new world. A bit roguish, because their capacity for lighting fire is certainly well regarded internationally. The Aboriginals of Australia are looked upon as pillars of good fire management, as they should be. They certainly are, and where they still have their own land country, they certainly do clean up country well with fire. So a lot of those underpinning principles is they would start their asset protection, particularly a lot of their more cultural sites. They'd start to protect them early in the season as the wet season starts to fade, and then a lot of their fire use was around improving country, so improving their hunting practices and the population of things they like to hunt. And towards the storm season, very much they recognise the lightning man is lighting the fires in the landscape anyway. It's a time to celebrate the change of one season and start another. So they really had what is now in the Western world a guy called Stephen Pine wrote a book called The Burning Continuum. I think that's probably the best way of explaining Indigenous use of fire in Australia. It was a burning continuum, and depending on the old people's visions of what was happening in the year, they relate that to their knowledge of the previous years. They would make decisions on fire. So I think the burning continuum is certainly the way that they go, and their breaking up of mosaic in country is fascinating, because they would burn many months before they needed to be there, so they were safe, there were less snakes, and there was good green pick oil. So it's quite a myth that the nomadic Aboriginals didn't really plant much. That's absolute rubbish. They were highly skilled people who managed this landscape and had it in very good condition when we arrived today. I think there's three main things we could learn from the first Australians, and one is their understanding they lived within the landscape, they didn't live on top of it. So they were aware of constantly the moon rise, the moon fall. They're aware of what is flowering, what's not flowering, what's eating what, because there's an end user's need there, they want to eat something as well. The second part is that because they had a continuum of burning a little bit all the time, a little bit, they never really went wrong. If they saw that a fire hadn't given them the result they wanted, they would analyse that very quickly and learn from that. So very much an adaptive management style. And the third thing is, because they were nomadic, they didn't squirrel away, they didn't take more than they needed. They moved on. When things got a bit harder to find, they moved on. So they were low impact, whereas we're more sedentary. We stay here and we tend to keep working the same bit of land a long time, whereas they would give the land a rest or spell the land. So I think they're the three things I'd take.